What's up everybody? It's Jacob with BizReps, and today I've got a video for you about what the best combination is for solar and LED in commercial buildings. So let's hop right into it. So today I'm going to be laying out 3 criteria for what you should be looking for when you think about combining solar and LED in your buildings. And the first thing on that list is why. What are we looking for in our solar and LED combo? So what are the criteria? So we're going to be going over 3 of those criteria in the category 1. So we got a little 3-in-1 in the 3 here. So bear with me. So first, quality criteria, we're going to call it. Quality criteria. And we got 3 things. Number 1, savings. This is always the big one on people's list. People want to know, how much money will I actually save? Another way to put this, so I'm actually going to write it right up here. We got ROI. If you are looking into solar and LED, if you are in the solar and LED business, if you're buying it or anything along those lines, those are the 3 letters that you should be looking at. Return on investment. What are you actually going to see back in your pocket in any given length of time? So when you're combining solar and LED, you are adding dollars onto your project, but at the end of the day, are you actually saving money in the big picture, right? So just as everybody knows, just because the project is increasing in price does not necessarily mean that the ROI is getting longer or shorter, or it shouldn't necessarily be getting longer or shorter ROI. So does your solar qualify you for grants and tax credits and things of that nature? These are the questions that you got to ask about your lighting system in order to know, am I actually going to be saving money, or is this just going to be a big picture up on my roof that shows how environmentally friendly I am? And that's great and that's super important, but we want to know what kind of money we're saving. So ask the question, do these solar and LED combination lights actually save me money in the long run? Is it going to take 15 years to pay it off, or can I pay it off within 5? There's a huge difference in when you can actually start adding money into your budget for other things because of your lights. Your lights should be working for you. And that plays right into number 2, which is going to be the Internet of Things, or IoT. Internet of Things. We got more acronyms for you today. So your IoT is the way that your lights work for you. So the way that lights and solar panels and things of that nature are communicating and creating data is the biggest way that your lights can be working for you. And as I say in all of my videos, create business assets. Your lights are a business asset. They are working for you, whether they're working well or working poorly. They are working for you all the time. And so with Internet of Things, we can get data like how much carbon have we displaced. That's huge. Customers want to see that, and it's important for the environment. You can see data like frequencies. You can see data like light levels. You can see data like real-time savings. There are all kinds of options. When you purchase a system that is IoT ready, you can start finding out information about maybe even occupancy of your building just from your lights. They are saving you money, they're working for you, they're providing feedback, they're providing data. All of these things are going to be wildly important for you as a business owner as we move into 2021. Investors and people of that nature, they want to see, well, how much money are you actually saving? How much carbon are you actually displacing? Which leads us right into number 3, which is environmental friendliness. Environment. I'm just writing environment right here. Environment. There you go. Awesome. So the environment. Are we actually displacing carbon with this system? So let's think about solar for a second here as a big picture, right? Solar is not, it does not start producing carbon as soon as it gets put on your roof. Your lights don't start producing carbon when they get put on your roof or put into your building. They start producing carbon when they're produced in the factory. So if you've got this really big advanced system that is in a far off field taking up farmland, and you have to run PV under the ground for miles and miles and miles to get to your building, and then you're spinning the meter backwards and feeding right back into the grid and actually increasing the load on the grid because now we have to produce more stations to run it forwards and backwards and every other way. In my humble opinion, I don't think you're really actually displacing that much carbon because of all of the labor and all of the more products and running through the ground and taking up farmland. At the end of the day, what have we really done? I mean, you're essentially breaking even if you can pay it off for 10 or 12 years. And that's with LED. that is not a significant reduction to the environment around you. But what would be is if you could have panels that sit on your roof and just produce light, right? One for one. Let's take the load off the grid that produces so much carbon every year and actually start making some savings for environments so we can go to our investors, we can go to our customers and say, listen, I am actually making a difference in the environment because I am eco-friendly, I'm thinking about these things, and my lights are working for me and my lights are working for the environment. So these three categories are what you should be looking for in your lights when you're thinking about combining LED and solar. So now let's talk about the specifics, right? Let's talk about a few more things that you can be looking for specifically in the function of the LED and solar. So I've got two things I want to share with you. So function, quality, right? All right, so the first one we're going to have here is adjustment. So if you think about combining solar and LED, I'm going to step this way so you can see it. If you think about combining solar and LED, there's going to be a difference in the alternating current power that comes off of your grid and the photovoltaic power that is coming in from the solar panel. It is not very common and not very smart to have only photovoltaic power powering your lights, because what happens on a cloudy day? What happens if there's a huge blizzard, nobody can get up on the roof and it's covered in snow? Things of that nature. Solar has some environmental variables that you cannot get around as a solar owner. And that's okay, because when we run our numbers for solar about how much we're going to save, how much we're going to displace, that's assuming that we have a few days a year where they're less optimal environment. But all that to say, there's going to be a difference in the power level throughout the day that the photovoltaic is putting out versus the alternating current, right? And so let's say that, huge puffy cloud rolls in front of your solar panel. What's going to happen? You're going to lose power coming off that PV. You're not getting as much power out of there anymore. So what? The light's going to dim. It shouldn't. What should actually happen is you should have a system that's smart enough and with good enough quality invention and good enough quality software that it can be monitoring very quickly. And so you should never see a change in visible light level between PV power and AC power. There are functions, there are applications available that can monitor fast enough that you will never see a visible light difference in your office or commercial lighting wherever you've got them put out. You should never have to see a difference. Don't be fooled by some of these people that say, oh, the cloud roll in front is going to dim. That's bad for you. That's bad for the health of the employees that are working in this place. There are options where it will be even throughout the entire day. And the second thing I've got in this category is going to be monitoring. And this plays a lot into that adjustment period. But like I said, your lights should know the light level. What I mean by that is they should know what the light level should be and be able to adjust to that. Not max or minimum power, not 50% power, not 75%. A light level, a foot candle level. And I did a video on what is the optimal foot candles for various business applications. But your lights, you should be able to go in and set, hey, I need 75 foot candles because I'm in a warehouse and I don't want anybody to trip. So I need 75 foot candles. Your light can be like, okay, I can do that. They can monitor the ambient light levels and produce what you need in order to maintain a light level, not a percentage, not a power level, nothing like that. 75 foot candles all day long if that's what you want. Your lights can do that, should be able to do that. That is available to you. So keep your eye out for those two things when you're shopping for solar LED combos and doing the whole 9 yards in your facility. So finally, I want to share with you what is my favorite pick for 2021 of what is the best solar LED combo, and this is going to be a word that just ties it all together. I've talked about it before. It's called Fusion. Fusion is a solar LED lighting system that combines the power of AC and PV, like I was talking about. This particular system will actually monitor 5 times a second in order to make sure that light levels are consistent. This is a 21st century business solution that solves every single one of these criteria. It saves money. The panels for this particular product will go directly on the roof, producing energy for your lighting all day long. If you or somebody around you that you know wants to look at actually putting in a solar and LED combo or fusion into their business, please set up an appointment with us over at BizReps. I would love to spend some time talking with how we can improve your business and make your lights work for you. Thanks, guys.